comments, and I'll see if my colleagues or county manager has anything that they would like to add. First of all, from a standpoint of negotiation, that's why I kind of stopped the gentleman from, my perception was he was trying to negotiate in public. We're not responsible for negotiation, right? That's a day-to-day operation of the county, and that is responsibility with the county manager and who he designates to do that negotiation. So we don't get involved in the negotiation. I know you're appealing to us at this public meeting, I get that. But we really don't, we're not involved in that. And when I started hearing who gets what percent, we should get more, that surely sounds like a negotiation to me. That's why I kind of tried to steer you away from that, because that's not what we do. Nor are we going to start the practice of negotiating in public. That's just not how it happens. So I feel sad that it's gone on this long. Negotiation is a two-way street. So I know that the county manager, through the negotiating team, is working to try to come to some resolution with CWA to find a contract that is agreeable to both parties, right? Obviously, that's how it is supposed to work. It's not how it works, it's how it works. So you can't ask for everything and they can give you nothing. There has to be someplace meeting in the middle. To relate it to directors' salaries or anything like that is an interesting way to go about making your point. And I will say there was a question, and I'd like to address that a little bit, of is this a performance related or is it parity related? And I would suggest that it's both. In the county manager's circumstance, any one of us could speak about the tremendous accomplishments this county manager has brought forward, closing the jail, saving millions of dollars, 0% tax increases the last couple of years. The entire effort, I spoke to earlier today about his efforts leading the county in the COVID response, the pandemic response, from testing to vaccinations to food distribution. And at the same time, lowering the total amount of employees in our system. So the contributions are there, and the significant input that he's made to this county since he started here, reaffirmed by AAA bond rating just yesterday, speaks to his accomplishments and what he's done. From a parity perspective, I felt it was very important to have our county manager on par, in parity with what other county executives make. The county right next to us, the administrator makes $220,000. In the county north of us, in Essex County, they have a county executive and a county administrator to the tune of $320,000, those combined positions. He does both of those positions. So I don't feel like I have to explain any more than that as far as the accomplishments that this county manager has brought forward, as well as in my desire to make it more commiserate with people with like responsibility that he has. So just to let that get out there, that's what I wanted to make clear. The county manager then makes up the increases responsible for his leadership team in consultation with myself and the other commissioners. And that's where some of the other increases have come up with. And they're also commiserate with accomplishments and also parity with other people that do like jobs. So, from my perspective, it's something I was hoping we'd get behind us, this negotiation with CWA. There is two sides to every story, and there's two people that need to meet in the middle someplace. So I'm going to leave it up to the county manager and the negotiating team to continue to work with your negotiating team to find some way to come up with something that's reasonable. You talk about percentages. Sometimes it's neglecting the fact that there's steps included in your contract, and sometimes your increases with the steps and the average increase are more than 5%, 6% sometimes with that step.
No.
Okay, then that's the information that I have. Except when All right, let's control of where we're at. You can just have some displeasure with what I'm saying, but I don't expect anybody to be disrespectful. I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you. So at this point, I want to see if any other commissioners have any comments from what was brought up from the public. If not, we'll move forward.
I have a comment. So, Chair, some of the information you provided, that's all I've been asking for from the moment that this particular issue was brought up. I did request, was there an equity study? We think about diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. I started the day with that type of conversation. So when I hear the information you're providing is very helpful, but it wasn't shared with all the commissioners. At least it was not shared with me. And I did request that information. I've attempted to ask where the information is, because again, everything you said about the county manager and working, whether the workers or even our administration, again, it's not anything it's we. We have all worked, we've all contributed, we've all done a lot of really good work, and I don't take away from the county manager, so I do support the effort, and that's why my vote is not no, but my vote is, if we're going to be able to be transparent and be able to articulate that we support when we're doing raises and why we're doing raises, there should not be an issue as a commissioner that this information should be shared. If I request it, it should be provided. It was not. I'm not on the Finance Committee. I asked 2 of the Finance Committee members and others who have not had the information, as you mentioned. It wasn't a collective decision. It was something that the county manager was able to do in consultation. It was something you were able to do. But I've been elected since 2004, and this is something new to me that this is very important. 2004. I've been elected since 2004 in my career as a public servant. So I have had many roles in many capacities, and I'm just, again, obviously I was very spirited earlier because this was on my spirit of seeing, you know, how do we make sure that we collectively make sure that we don't have people feeling bullied, whether on this side or that side, that everyone has a voice, and that we can support it, because there were some increases that I absolutely support, and there were some increases I just had questions about. But I appreciate hearing that there was some study done or equity, you know, contributions, but I just wish it wasn't just tonight that I had to hear it, because I would have been fully in support if I just had the data that I could have been able to advocate it properly, so that when members come here or workers or employees or the public have questions, I'm not in the dark like anybody else. So hopefully in the future, we will be a little bit more transparent on issues such as this, because I know how hard everyone up here works. I know how hard our directors work. I know how difficult it can be. But again, this is about being transparent, making sure that we have a unified voice so that we can advocate what is happening. And so all the things that you ticked off, unfortunately, I haven't been in the room to have those conversations, and I wish we had it earlier, not tonight. So again, I'm a little disappointed that I didn't have the information as requested. I know you brought this up to me initially, but since this initial vote to today, I have not had any additional communication with anyone, although I did reach out. Some people said to meet with you tonight, and that's obviously not going to work if I get the information right now. But again, you know, I have probably voted, 99% with this board, because I believe in this board. I think that everyone in this room, if you have had challenges, do know that this board up here truly cares about working, and your shirt is not just an advertisement, but we all have been out there. And there are going to be disagreements. We may not always agree, but it's how we respect each other and get to the finish line. So I hope that with this board, we will deal with the issues within the unions, the appropriate administration. It is not the commissioners, but I do want you guys to understand we value that you're here, but just this is not the way, as my chairman has stated, it's not the way that you go about trying to negotiate. So please stay focused. Please make sure you do bring your issues to us, not just at a meeting, because like me, you need to make sure that you do the work before you just get to a meeting, so that you're properly respected, valued, and that you can make sure that you are just as much as part of Union County as anyone up here who we get elected, but you are paid to come and perform a job. But we want to make sure that we're doing the right thing, not just when it's popular, but every time. So those are my comments on this issue. I will state, I support the raises within reason, but I wish I had the documentation just to back it up as opposed to hearing it tonight. Thank you.
Okay, just one quick comment, Commissioner Garrettson. I've been on this board for a long time. I've never had a circumstance where I had a question from this county manager, or any other county manager, or any director that I didn't get an answer to. So I'm frustrated and sorry that you feel that way, that it happened to you. Never happened to me in 24 years.
I didn't state the county manager.
Okay, well, whoever you were referring to.
I'm saying the finance committee that you said you proposed it.
I
No.
was respectful when you were speaking.
And I'm respectful too, very, very politely, because we never had any public issue. This shouldn't be an issue tonight. We may disagree on process, but this is not an argument. This is just us communicating and getting our points across. So please, I wanted to correct, because I did not say that I had an issue with the county manager.
Okay, so I never had that experience, so I don't know how you feel about not having the correct information or any answers to the questions that you had beforehand. So I guess if I was in that circumstance, I might feel that way too, but I didn't have that experience, so I don't know what that.
But that's not what I stated. I stated, let me just so that it's clear. Again, I stated that this particular issue was not something that was a committee. It didn't go before the finance committee, as you shared tonight. You said you made a decision. You said the county manager made a decision based on his expertise with his staff. All I'm saying is that since I've been elected, since 2004 in various capacities, typically when you are expending public money, you want it to be a committee. You want to be it because, and that's why I said 99% of the time, most of the issues I've always supported. This is just one that I just did not have the information from a committee to push it forward so that I could properly make a decision.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. Anybody else have any comments they want to make at this time before we call for a vote? Okay. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Garrettson.
Respectfully, I abstain.
Excuse me, point of order, Chairman?
Yeah.
I think I need to move the ordinance.
Excuse me, sorry, Commissioner Hudak. Yes, please make the motion.
Thank you, Chairman. Jim, do you have to do anything now, or are we just starting anew by making the motion? Okay, fair enough. I move ordinance number 835-2021 for final reading and authorize the clerk of the board to advertise the same in accordance with the law.
Okay, may I have a second, please? I'll second. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Chairman. We'll start with Commissioner Garrettson.
The third time, I will respectfully abstain.
Commissioner Granados.
Aye.
Commissioner Hudak.
Aye.
Commissioner Kowalski.
Yes.
Commissioner Leon.
Aye.
Commissioner Palmieri Munoz.
Aye.
Commissioner State.
Yeah.
And Chairman Mirabella.
Aye.
Chairman, you have 7 votes in the affirmative with 1 abstention.
Okay, very good.